This is Bob. He works in an office for Megacorp, along with all of his co-workers. They work hard, and they get the job done. On many days, there is so much work that Bob and his co-workers are forced to work overtime. Bob's manager refuses to authorize overtime and tells Bob that he should be grateful to have a job and to stop complaining. Bob's co-workers are afraid to do anything about it, fearing that saying something could hurt their standing in the company. Bob is frustrated too, but he decides to do something about it. He goes to see an employment lawyer. The lawyer tells Bob that California has a special law called PAGA, which allows him to sue Megacorp and collect overtime for his co-workers and collect penalties for the state. If he wins, 25% of the penalties will go to his fellow workers and 75% will go to the state. Bob knows it's risky and he could hurt his job, but he decides to be the hero of the workers and collect the penalties and overtime that is owed to the workers and the state. The workers rejoice. His attorney then files a PAGA lawsuit in the Superior Court. Depositions and discovery begin, and the case is going well. Bob's lawyers say Megacorp is in trouble and probably will need to pay penalties to the state and the workers and give the workers their overtime as well. But then there is a problem. Bob has a terrible accident and he passes away. Bob's co-workers meet and decide they will carry on Bob's heroic quest. His co-workers ask the judge to let them step into Bob's place and continue Bob's PAGA claims. The judge expresses his sympathy, but says the law has a defect that does not allow co-workers to substitute in for a PAGA suit. Then Bob's executor asks the judge to let her continue Bob's suit, but again the judge says no, citing the same reason. Finally, Megacorp comes into court and uses this loophole to ask the judge to throw the case out of court because Bob died. Reluctantly, the judge dismisses the case. Worst of all, Bob's estate gets stuck with paying the costs of the case. How could this happen? Because there's a defect in California law. It happened in 2017 in Harrington versus Martin, where a truck driver sued for overtime in a PAGA suit. Unfortunately, he died. His widow came to court and asked to be substituted in as the representative. The judge denied the request. His co-workers came into court and asked to take Bob's place. Again, the judge denied the request, and the PAGA claim was thrown out of court. Similarly, a few years earlier, in the case of Kana versus Intercon, a judge told a security guard's widow that she was not eligible to bring a PAGA overtime claim on behalf of her deceased husband. In order to prevent this injustice from continuing, the legislature can pass a simple fix to protect the rights of deceased and disabled workers and the right of the state to collect the penalties it is owed. The solution would be a new labor code provision, 2699.6, which allows a personal representative, successor in interest, or another aggrieved employee to step into the shoes of a PAGA plaintiff who has died, become disabled, or become incompetent. It would also allow the court to have broad discretion to accept a successor so that the interests of justice and the purposes of PAGA are effectuated. And that would be justice for all.